And I just want to thank each and every one of you for helping me get to my goal of 10,000 subscribers. Hey, it's Katherine. I had a lot of suggestions of things you guys wanted me to do when I asked you, what should I do for my 10K? A few of you suggested a vlog, which I'm thinking about. Some of you suggested a giveaway, and some of you suggested, honestly, things I won't even mention. But a big one you suggested was something having to do with Dhar Mann, and another bunch of you suggested a Q&A. So I thought, why don't we combine the two and I do a Q&A of the Dhar Mann frequently asked questions. So you guys, you ask me a lot of questions, and a lot of new people ask me the same questions I've already answered over and over in other videos and in my lives every Sunday. For those of you who don't know, I do a live Q&A every Sunday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's when I answer a lot of these questions. So hopefully I can just direct people to this video and then I won't have to answer them over and over again, but we shall see. So in no particular order, these are the most frequent questions I get asked about working on the Dhar Mann series. All right, do you get paid to work on Dhar Mann? Do you get paid to act there? Yes, Dhar Mann does pay everybody who works there. I know there's a lot of people who contact me. I would do it for free. I just want to act. I just want to be part of it. And that's so cool. And there's a lot of unpaid acting opportunities in Los Angeles. But no, Dhar Mann does pay his actors. There's different kinds of pay scales for actors in Los Angeles, depending on whether they're part of the union or not part of the union. As of right now, Dhar Mann is a non-union show. That could change in the future. I don't know. So he doesn't have to follow the scale of what the unions pay. So it's always changing. They're constantly upping their rates for the SAG and AFTRA stuff. But as it stands, I do believe Dhar Mann actors are paid more than they would actually get if they were on an 8-hour shoot for, say, a SAG project. So that works out pretty good. Who is your favorite actor to work with? Oh, goodness. I cannot name them all. I couldn't even, I certainly couldn't name one. I mean, seriously, any of the ones that you guys see over and over and over again, they're good. They're good.
Colin, Shantae, Ricky, Sophia, Brianni, Devin. Devin's amazing actor. Aiden, of course.
Honestly, I cannot name them all. Did I already say Colin? There's dozens I'm not even naming. Those are just, but the ones that you guys are your favorites and your regulars, yeah. I'm amazed. Honestly, I'm amazed at some of the stuff the kid actors can do. Man, I think Sophia and Devin, they have huge careers in front of them. And I'm not saying that other people don't, but I'm saying they shine bright like a diamond. They shine so bright. And I'm amazed at the range they have for being teenagers, the range they have in their acting skills. And that's not to downgrade anybody else, but those two kids are really amazing. And I expect that from the adults. I expect it from the adults, but when you see children being able to pull it off like that, that is really something special. Let's not forget Kato. Let's not forget him. He's him and the one that plays his younger brother, who's Brendan. They're really special too. Honestly, now if I start naming more people and then I don't name others, ay. Okay, let's just move off of that question because everybody's fantastic. I can't narrow it down. Okay, what is it like working for Dhar Mann? People ask. You know what? It's such a pleasant environment. I cannot stress that enough. Working in Hollywood for 20 years and being on more than 150 other projects, it really does stand out as something special, as something different and unique. And you're not in a high stress situation. People aren't barking at you, ordering you. You know, it's nice, it's kind, it's just such a breath of fresh air from what can be a very stressful field to work in. The entertainment industry, you know, time is money. We got to get the shot. We got to get it done. We got to meet our schedule. But they do it with such grace and ease that it's a pleasure being there. How did you meet Dhar Mann? Well, I met him on set. Back in the day when they were shooting all the episodes out of the penthouse, they would operate the makeup operation, live glam, throughout the day, and then the actors would come at night, and then we would shoot the content, the videos at night. So there was a time early on, one of my first, I don't know, maybe it was the 4th or 5th video we did, I'm not exactly sure, but Dhar was still there, and I came, and I maybe met him briefly on an earlier video, but I just remember the one video where I had played a mom several times, and what I would do is, depending on who my kid was, I would match my eyes to the kid's eyes. So I'd bring my colored contacts, so I would either have blue eyes if the kid had blue eyes, or I would have darker eyes if the kid had darker eyes. And then one day I was there to play a mom, and he was there, and I was, because usually the directors that I've worked with in the past want me to cover it up. They want me to hide it. They want me to blend in. And so I remember having my first conversation with Dhar. I was like, I know my eyes have matched for all the other videos because I had contacts, but this is actually the real me. Do you want me to cover them up to match the other kids? You want me to like hide it so I can look more like I'm the perfect casting for the pair? And he was like, no, just be you. And I remember that was like such freedom. Like, I get to just be who I am and not have to worry about it. So that was pretty cool. He was very much, just be you, just embrace who you are. And so that was really nice. I was interviewed for another thing today, and they were asking me about you know, working there, and I was telling them how nice it is and how kind people are and how friendly they are. And you know, other shows I've worked on as an actress, you get like, you have to look young, you have to be thin, you have to, and you know, you would lose parts if you didn't look right, or the directors would pressure you to lose weight. And nothing like that has ever happened to me with Dhar Mann. It's been so refreshing. People ask me, how many episodes have you been in? Frankly, I stopped counting when I got to 100. I had kept track, and then once I hit 100, I was like, I don't need to keep track anymore. I got 100 under my belt, so I'll just say over 100. I don't know, maybe 115. I'm just guessing at this point. Okay, how can I audition for Dhar Mann Studios? All right, so last I heard, they do their casting on LA Casting. So that's a website where actors sign up. They upload their headshots, their demo reels, and then they look for acting jobs. You type in what's your age category, age group that you fit to play. You type in your ethnicity, whatever other information they'll ask you, your special skills, blah, blah, blah. And then when you see a notice come up, you just submit. If you're right for the part, you submit for it. So if a casting notice comes up and you're right for it and it's for Dhar Mann Studios, just submit your headshot and don't give up. Keep submitting until they call you one day. When they call you, or in this case, they'll probably email you and ask you to do a self-tape audition. So you'll just audition for them that way. Okay, what is your favorite episode? This is probably the question I get asked the most. My favorite episode. Okay, so I actually made a video. Please watch it. It's called the top 8 favorite Dhar Mann videos I've been in. But I'm going to tell you one. I'm going to tell you my favorite video that's not even on that list. So I've got my top 8, but really probably the closest to my heart. I think it's called Teen Almost Jumps Off a Bridge, but I call it the More Hugs, Less Suicide, because in the video, I'm holding up a sign that says more hugs, less suicide. And I'm standing on the bridge just giving anyone who wants a hug. And somebody comes and he's mocking and he's like, you're not going to make a difference. Come on, what do you think you're doing? Do you really think you're making a difference? And then there's a kid who's just looks pretty sad, and I go up to him and I talk to him and I give him a hug, and later comes back and it turns out he was there to do that very same thing. And the reason I'm on the bridge is because I had lost my son to suicide on that bridge. And that really meant a lot to me, for a lot of reasons. So I would say that's my favorite one. Okay. Why do you like working for Dhar Mann? Well, I have mentioned just a nice, friendly atmosphere, kind people. As an actress, it's also nice to have consistent work. You know, you could do a short film, then you don't work for a few months. You could go to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 auditions and not book anything. So you're in this constant state of, as an actor, you're trying to get your next gig, trying to get your next gig, trying to get your next gig. It's nice to be on something where you don't have to keep going and keep proving yourself over and over and over. Proving that you have the skills, that they'll just call you back because they like working with you and they know you have it. And that's just one of the reasons I like working there. But everybody's kind and friendly, and it's a whole different atmosphere than a lot of sets I've been on over my 2-decade career, where sometimes they weren't nice, sometimes they weren't kind, sometimes they were mean and angry and yelling at you, and you were feeling stressed out on set, or they were making you feel like you weren't good enough just by, putting you down, hitting you in the stomach saying you better lose this gut and threatening to fire you if you're not, whatever. You don't get that at Dhar Mann Studios. Do you like playing the good guys or the bad guys better? Honestly, I like them both. Sometimes the bad guys are more fun to play because it's playing against type. It's going out there and just wild abandon, being just totally nasty. Sometimes that's really fun. But if I do that too many times in a row, it kind of hurts my heart a little. It kind of makes me feel like, I'm not, it's not fun after a while, and I start to feel bad. So, yeah. Okay, the next question you guys ask me a lot, I guess I don't really know, behind the scenes, you're asking me about behind the scenes. Well, you guys, they have a behind the scenes channel now, so you guys can actually go to their behind the scenes channel and watch a lot of the antics that take place on set. So I'll just leave that to the behind the scenes video because I think they do that just fine. You guys have asked me how long I've worked there. I don't know if I started in September or October. I think it might have been October 2018. And that's when the first video came out. Back then, the turnaround was like, you'd shoot a video and it would be out that same week. They were just pumping them out. How long will you work there? Gosh, it's not like I have like, I am stopping on this day, this year. I'll do it as long as it's still fun for me, as long as I still enjoy it, as long as it's fun for me. I used to say, oh, I need to grow and stretch as an actor. I need to be challenged. I need to, all this other stuff that I've changed as a person since then. And I don't have to necessarily have every acting job I do grow me and stretch me and make me pull out from me the depths of emotions that I've never had before. Sometimes it's nice just to go to a job that you enjoy and is fun, and you're getting to use like your skills and talents and just to enjoy yourself and enjoy your coworkers and not have to stress out. There's a lot to be said about that. So I'm going to keep going, unless I move away, or, it's a possibility. Honestly, my husband is not a big fan of California. He's been wanting to move for years, for years. So it may come a time where I move, and that might be when I would stop. But it's not in the works anytime soon. You guys ask me all the time, do you really cry in the videos? Yes, I do. People go, is that real crying or is it fake crying? It's real crying. There may have been one video in all the videos I can remember where I wasn't really feeling it, and probably didn't come out so well, or didn't look as real. And that was probably one that was harder. But I think what I have to do is I have to really put myself in the place of that character as if I was really going through that, and pull out, act as if I was really in that situation to feel that, you know. I don't like to do the kind of acting, I forget what it's called, but there's a name for it, where you pull from your memories of childhood or traumatic things that have happened to you, where you pull from that to, you know, drudge up. I remember I forget the technique. Is it Meisner technique? Some of you actors might be able to answer that. I remember taking a class once, and we had to make this list and write down, remember that time where you were totally embarrassed. Describe that. What did that feel like? Remember a time where you were completely ashamed. And we had to go through and legit relive times in our life of terror, of fear, of anger. And, you know, maybe you're able to pull from it that way, but I found that to be not very healthy for your heart, for your psyche, for your well-being. Because I remember one of the things, I remember bringing up something that my brother had done to me, and it took me years to forgive him. And now I'm trying to drudge that up for an acting role just to make it be believable. So I don't think that's good for the heart. I don't think that's good for the psyche. I don't think, like, you spend years working on getting rid of some trauma so you can have a good life, and then you go try to bring that up to make it work in an acting role. I don't think that's good. I don't think that's good. So I try to just live the circumstances as if I'm really going through it now. You know, the same thing can be said about method acting. People who want it to be real. Like if you're playing a character who's hasn't, like for instance, the Dustin Hoffman example. Maybe you've heard this before. Dustin Hoffman was working on this movie with, I think, Sir Laurence Olivier, famous actors. And he was up all night. He did not go to sleep because this character in the movie was up for 24 hours straight. So that's what he did. And he was like crazed out of his mind. I don't know if he was drinking coffee. I don't know what of sorts. And Sir Laurence Olivier said to him, "Have you thought about just acting, dear boy? Like, how about we just act? Because that's what we're here to do." So I don't think you have to bring the real stuff in. I think you can, you know, live that character and be believable without having to drudge up the past. Next question you guys asked me is, what do you need to do to become an actor with Dhar Mann? I would say what you need to do is you need to have some experience. You know, unless you're a brand new young child, maybe you don't have experience, but have taken some lessons, maybe that would be helpful. You know, but there's people that will, I've seen people come and it's their first job. So if you have experience, great. I think most importantly, you need a good attitude. You need a good attitude to work with the team. And it's really helpful if you live in LA. They're not in the practice of flying people in from all over the country or all over the world. If you book a job, you're going to have to get there yourself. I've seen people fly in from Arizona just to work there. I've seen people drive from Nevada, you know, but just know you'll have to get there yourself. Another question I get asked all the time is, why do you wear wigs? Guys, it's something I just do for me, for fun. Sometimes I like to, you know, some characters you approach from the inside out. You go into the depths of who you are and you portray that character from what's inside of you. And there's other times where you do it from the outside in. You change your looks, you change your walk, you change your wardrobe, you change your hair, and you can feel like you're that character more. So not only that, I like the variety, I like the range, I like feeling like I'm really doing different characters. So it's not just looking like this in every single role. You guys have heard that Jennifer Garner, I would love to have had her career to do such a range of roles, like her TV series Alias, and she was a spy. So she, like, in almost every episode, she got to play like a different character who looked different. She was in disguise. And I always love the idea of that, or like Saturday Night Live. You know, they're playing the wide range of characters, wide range of ages, and looking totally different. And that just seemed like fun to me. So that's something I brought in on my own. I'm not sure I even ever asked permission. I just was like, showed up one day. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be a brunette today, or I'm going to be this today. Maybe only once have they ever asked me, you know, to wear a wig for something. And it was long after I had already probably worn 10 different ones. So it's just something I do for me to have fun, to enjoy my characters. Have you ever acted before, Dhar Mann? Yes. So I think I heard you guys heard me say I've been in over 150 other projects. So if you go to imdb.com, you can see a list of projects I've been in. And honestly, that's not even all of them. That's like 60 out of like the 150 I've done, because they don't count everything on there. They don't usually count commercials. They don't count plays. They don't count industrials. Sometimes they don't count music videos. They don't, there's a whole wide range of things that aren't really even counted. And then if people didn't put it on there, you won't know. Have you ever acted with someone you didn't like? There was one person I was not a big fan of. I worked with them in one of the Dhar Mann videos. But I try to be non-judgmental. I try to give people a chance. This one person was really inappropriate, loud, annoying, obnoxious. But you know what? I think Dhar Mann Studios, they try to keep it such a nice, friendly, warm, genuine environment that they don't even like those people on set. So that person never came back. So I didn't have to worry about it because they didn't come back again. There was one other person maybe that I was kind of like, all right, this person's annoying. But, you know, I think they were just really nervous. And I don't know, I don't know, is it just me, or do you guys get annoyed when all anyone ever does is just talk about themselves all the time? Like that's their only subject? I don't know, maybe it's just me. It reads as kind of selfish to me. So there's one other person, but after working with this person like 4 times, I was like, okay, maybe they're just nervous. Maybe they don't know what else to say. Maybe they're just excited to be here. And then they kind of grew on me. I think after the 4th time, I was like, all right, this person is not so bad. They're okay. I'm just being honest with you guys. I'm not going to say everyone is, you know, a bowl full of cherries and peaches and cream and delicious and everything nice. Last question you guys ask me all the time is, you're such a great actress. Why don't you pursue Hollywood films? Guys, I've pursued Hollywood films for 20 years. And it was okay. And I had some good, decent experiences. But I'm kind of at the place where it's not really a big goal for me anymore. You know, people are like, why don't you try to get movies, like big Hollywood on the big screen movies with movie stars? And I'm kind of just content where I'm at. You know, if you love what you're doing and you enjoy it and you enjoy the people you're working with, you would like the content you're putting out, it fits into your life and schedule. I did the whole Hollywood thing. I would go, tried to get all the best agents and tried to get all the best auditions and did everything I could to make that happen. And it didn't really happen for me. And I could keep going. I could keep pursuing. I could keep trying to get all the big, acting jobs and big agents and I could try doing that, but I enjoy just having my time to spend with my family, to work on my books. I enjoy the content Dhar puts out. And so I kind of see myself being there more long-term than trying to get some role with some big movie star and some big budget. I mean, if it came my way, it's not like I'm going to turn it down, but it's just not top of mind anymore. My first 18 or so years, that was like, oh my gosh, I got to get on a series regular of a TV show. I got to get in a big budget movie that gets in the theaters, that has movie stars. That's not really a goal of mine anymore, because even when I was going out and auditioning for them, it wasn't making the kind of difference and impact in people's lives like doing this is. Having small part in a big fancy movie where my role didn't really make a difference. It was just like, waiter number 4. I have more of a legacy I want to leave than that. So that is the most frequently asked questions I get asked about Dhar Mann. Thank you guys for tuning in, and Mwah! I appreciate you so much for helping me get to 10,000. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do that now. Subscribe, like, share. You guys are the best. Bye.